Boom. Okay, there we go. All right. Making the post on social.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ooh.
so
Ooh, wait a second. I need to.
publish.
Again, I didn't get to finish watching the
Few
direct,
too.
You can
but
get Final Fantasy IX right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of important, as well as Tetris 99.
I was gonna say I saw Tetris 99
It's
first.
literally it's Tetris Battle Royale.
All the dumb
Which
memes I've
no.
seen.
So I actually used to play a game growing up that was called Eggstream Mania, which was you played as a little egg and it was basically build up the Tetris tower as high as you could and as sturdy as you could as quickly as you could before the other person could. Um and so like the idea of battle royale Tetris to me is absolutely like so fun.
And I mean, like it's
I
not
hate
really
Tetris.
it's not really Battle Royale. It's just the fact that like it's
Well,
a 99 it's a 100 player multiplayer Tetris match.
yep.
All right, there we go. Publishing that we're live. And
Woohoo.
then right meow. Bam, 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 bam. Bam. Okay, there we go. Boom. All right. So, yeah, lots of stuff. I did write down general release dates for things.
Yep.
So we do have those. I am missing a couple. But then there was some where it was just like they didn't give one. And I was like, well, I'm not writing down 2019. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. It was literally just like got done with dinner because I had to work late. So I got home. And then my mom called like right when I was sitting down to go have dinner.
Oh.
And she was complaining about calling the shop for the menswear because she wanted to pay for my brother's stuff and for part of my stuff or whatever. And I guess like because it hasn't been ordered yet, they can't accept payments. And she got into an argument with them. And I'm like,
really?
Can I just have spaghetti, please? I would like to have my spaghetti.
I just want some spaghetti.
Yeah, I would like to have my spaghetti and my salad and get ready for podcast. And it's goddamn snowing again, and I can't.
Oh, fucking A, really?
I can't, yeah.
I haven't been out in like a couple hours, but
yeah.
Seriously?
It's like big fluffy powder flakes.
Oh, okay. So nothing that's gonna fuck up my drive home to work.
I don't know.
It might.
It might.
That's kind of yeah.
It might.
I'm so excited about that.
So
excited about that.
Yay.
I just love this snow.
Yeah, I just love how every school district except Pittsfield had a 2-hour delay this morning.
The roads weren't bad this morning.
They really weren't.
And I was driving when. What time do you have to be to school in the morning?
I get in at 7:30. I go in early.
And you were driving in early. Yeah, I drive in. I'm driving past Crosby at like 7:15, 7:30 every morning. The roads were fine.
God, you people have to wake up so early.
No, I hadn't gone to bed yet. I still haven't gone to bed yet.
Oh.
This is Wednesday now.
That's like waking up early.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
This is my Wednesday now. Where Courtney doesn't get to sleep.
Oh, I should write an
all.
intro. Coming up on episode 130, we finally
I will have to try Tetris 99 tonight.
Got a Nintendo
at work.
Nintendo Direct.
Is Final Fantasy 9 really worth it?
It's really good.
Okay. No, like I've literally my experience with Final Fantasy is
I think it is
10 and 10 too.
So it's not like 10.
Yeah, I know. 10.
It is a much more classic Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And it was on purpose because 7 and 8 were much more modern with a lot more sci-fi stuff in it.
Okay.
9 was let's bring it back to the medieval setting. Let's bring it back to like
Yeah.
the old SNES, NES Final Fantasies.
Oh, okay.
And it does a really nice job of that. And it's probably the best. Actually, not probably. It is the best looking of all the PlayStation Final Fantasies.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just dicking around in the eShop right now.
All right. So I have the
it's
intro
only
written up.
$20.99. So
Sounds
it's
about.
worth
That sounds about
paying.
right.
21 bucks.
You're gonna get at least 40 hours out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, there's a mini game called Chocobo Hot and Cold.
That's one of the worst parts of the game. It's awful.
Okay, you don't understand how much I love chocobos.
That's fine, but the Chocobo Hot and Cold, ugh.
Oh,
you
yeah?
walk around the map trying to find treasures based on like when you hit the button with your chocobo, it says hot or cold.
Chocobo.
That's what I used to call them at first before I realized
Way
it was
down
a
in
chess sound.
Chocobo,
Yeah.
Jamaica. Ooh,
I thought it was one of those weird like where CH makes a cuss sound when I first read it.
I mean,
and I would have epic arguments with people saying that they were wrong when they said chocobo.
Epic arguments. I have a Chocobo Crossing T-shirt.
Yeah.
That I got for like
Come on, you only played one Final Fantasy or one?
It's kind of a niche argument.
You know, X2 does not count as Final Fantasy in my book.
Well, I didn't have that many games.
Sacrilege. It's blasphemy.
I have an exponentially larger account or amount of video games now than I ever did growing up. Because I
remember the day I beat Final Fantasy IX. I was right at the end of the game in the ending cinematic, and somebody blew a fuse in my house.
Oh no! And it didn't do like the post game save.
No.
Oh no!
And I had to go through and do like the last 3 boss fights whatever again.
Oh, no.
So I remember
it was on a Sunday. I remember my mom was cooking dinner, and I just remember all this stupid stuff about it.
Can I just say, I love that the news on the Switch gives me pretty much everything that came out with the Direct in quick little bite size. This is what came out. This is what came out. This is what came out.
Most of the Direct was like headlines, and so it lends itself to that format.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
To go back to Josh's story. So when I worked at Crane, it was on my lunch break. I beat Ganon in A Link Between Worlds, right? Or I can't remember who was the end. I think it was Ganon or some kind of shadow boss or whatever.
Probably.
So I beat that right on my lunch break, and then what I didn't know was there'd be like 20 freaking minutes of cutscenes and like dialogue after that wouldn't let you save your game during it. And I was just like, so I just left it open at my desk kind of a thing, and people were like walking by and yelling at me and stuff, and I'm like, well, number one, I'm doing work. And it's like, what? It's just playing cutscenes and everything. Why is this a problem?
It shouldn't be.
No, it really shouldn't be. But Crane is a abysmal dungeon.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it sucks the life out of you.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
And you have to move to Maine to get away from it.
Not necessarily. That's kind of a drastic measure. I mean, I didn't. I didn't actually move. It was just although I didn't leave by my choice. Let's put it that way. Yeah. No. It could qualify for an ample D&D dungeon. For you guys like find undead in. Yeah.
That would be hilarious to do like a homebrew.
So the building itself isn't very exciting. It's mostly open.
Yeah.
Because they like open floor plans, which is another ludicrous thing. So it's basically like you walk into a giant room. What do you do? And it's mostly empty. And it's like, that's not a very exciting dungeon.
Or you have it like one of Liam's adventures that has been like you going through the Geek and Sundry offices.
Well, I mean, that
wasn't Liam. That was
Perkins did that in Acquisition Incorporated.
Wonder what?
No, they ran the zombie one.
That was.
Liam ran that.
Was it?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. I just know Perkins did that in Ack Inc. When
I just remember
it
the
was
one where they were like all kids.
Courtney, if you recall.
No, there was another one.
When
More recently.
you guys were in the Tomb of Annihilation, and you found like that orrery, and if you open up the sphere or whatever, or if you activate the sphere, one of the options is like you get randomly ported to a plane of existence, to a different plane of existence.
Oh, boy.
So they activated that, and Chris had them go to Earth, and so they got ported out in the Wizards parking lot.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So then Chris shows up and he's like, "Oh, I know who you guys are. Come on, we'll get you home." Yeah, it was great.
It's like, come here, children.
Yes. Funny you should say that, as most of them were under a curse and were children. Viari, Jim, and Omen were 10 years old, and they were accompanied by Rosie Beestinger.
That's awesome.
So is Grandma Beestinger and the 10-year-olds. So yeah.
But yeah, no, Liam ran a one shot recently. And they were in the Geek and Sundry offices, and it was the one where they were all like turning into vampires or something. I'm pretty sure it was Liam who ran it.
I would perhaps question the use of the word recently, but I won't discount that he may have run one. I don't think it was in the past year, let's put it that point.
Your description of Crane reminded me of a trailer I watched this week for, I think it's a Netflix. No, it's on FX. But it's based on a movie that came out a few years ago called What We Do in the Shadows. Are you familiar with that?
Oh, that thing looks weird.
So it's
that's
it's a mockumentary. So it's like a fake like vampire documentary.
I'm pretty sure it's Taika Waititi.
I don't know.
Waititi. I think that was him.
It's the guy from Flight of the Conchords. And he does the voice of the big crab in Moana. I forget his name.
Yeah. But I think Waititi directed it, because everybody pointed to that as like what he did before working on Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. It's really funny.
Yeah.
But there's just so they're doing a show of it now. And there's like this one part where there's a guy, he's like, I'm an energy vampire. And it's just this guy who works in an office and bores people.
Oh no.
Like walking around and talking them and annoying them. It's really funny.
Oh god. There are some people that I could imagine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, as soon as I saw like, oh my god, I know those people.
Yep. Oh look, it me. So anyway. We should probably get started.
Yeah.
It's 7:30, so hello. By the way, hello internet. Hello everyone.
Oh hey.
We're here.
Actually,
and
I definitely saw you there.
And we're gonna start. We are going to start the show.
Yeah.
So
don't do it.
5.
Oh no.
4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up on episode 130, we finally got a Nintendo Direct. Activision Blizzard layoffs, Will Smith is blue, and much, much more on the 8-Bit Adventures podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 8-Bit Adventures podcast. We are your hosts, bringing you the latest and greatest geeky news of this past week. I am your host, Sean Hayes, and with me are my wonderful co-hosts, as always, Courtney Bolin.
Hey, everybody.
And Josh York.
I wouldn't call Will Smith blue. He seems like a generally positive guy.
No, he was definitely blue. Dabba dee dabba die. Dabba dee dabba die.
If he were
dabba
green,
dee
he
dabba
would
die.
If he was green, he would die.
Yeah. So we a lot of news this week. A lot of some weird news this week. Yeah, Will Smith was definitely blue. physically, not metaphorically. And that sort of image will haunt me, I'm sure.
Forever.
Yeah. Apparently, I have to go see that movie. I have been told.
Uh-oh.
I apparently don't have a say in the matter. So,
Correct.
yeah.
Have fun.
So I guess why don't we talk about it then?
I'm
Yeah, that teaser for Aladdin.
Nope.
So we got a teaser for Aladdin during the Grammys, featuring
yeah.
Will Smith as the genie. And apparently, rather than just leaving him as Will Smith, they're totally CGI-ifying him up as one blue genie.
Yeah, like I knew that was going to be happening because I had seen, because there are some similar to when Genie is animated and he was like in a humanoid shape. He did say, like, I did see an interview a couple of months ago, it seems now, that he was like, oh no, a lot of Genie is CGI.
Yeah.
Like it's select scenes that he's like this. So because like fans were freaking out at first, and then
well they might have been freaking out then. They're definitely freaking out now.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, we definitely did not want this. Oh no, take it back.
It's tough for me because like I don't know if it was literally my eyes bugging out because I have not slept in 24 hours, or if it really was, but that CGI looked terrible. Like
yeah.
it looked like they were trying to do realistic cartoon, if that makes sense. It's like those people that have been like drawing like realistic Pokemon as like really creepy, but done bad. Like
Yeah.
it did not look right, and
He looks
to
rubbery.
a standard that I put Disney to. Let's put it that way.
I thought it looked great, and I think this is probably going to be the best live action Disney movie that we've seen to date.
Hang on. Boom.
No.
There, right there in the chat. There. Hashtag Josh lies.
Yes. Hashtag Josh lies.
Sorry, I needed my contrarian
yeah.
point of view.
No,
it's
that is not. No.
Like,
no.
I almost feel like that if they were.
Yeah, it looks weird.
Like
that's all I've got to say.
Like, I don't know if they put him in a suit, but it definitely looks like they put him in like a rubber suit. And
well, a lot of it was makeup, but I think some of it was also like mocap, and it just.
And I kind of wish if they were going to do that to just put him in a rubber suit. And give him like the Jim Henson treatment.
Dude, totally do that. Absolutely.
But here's the thing: if you're going to redo it, he doesn't have to be blue. You know? No, he doesn't have to be blue.
No.
And in fact, have a, of course, Josh and I were of the opinion, and Josh, you had brought this up the other night on stream or whatever. No, they should have just gone with Sinbad.
They should have.
They should have gone with Sinbad, and then everybody can finally have their Sinbad genie movie.
And we can finally have.
I still think that
truth that actually lies in our eyes.
Like I'm probably gonna watch it as soon as it comes out on Netflix.
I was told
paying to watch
I was told that
the quality of the songs. That's the only thing I care about.
I'm sorry, Jasmine's not hot enough for me to go watch it.
Oh, I'll be
shade.
The judge of that. I'll be the judge of that.
Oh man,
original Disney princess crush right there.
I'm gonna have to put a darkness filter over here for the shade that was thrown there. My goodness.
Yeah, sorry.
Nope. Wow, Courtney.
What are you talking about? She's pretty. Jeez.
She's pretty. Absolutely.
Here's what I'm wondering.
But like,
are we going to get Will Smith raps as part of the soundtrack? Because Genie had a number of musical performances.
I hope so.
I mean, does this mean that and if they're gonna I
hope he just raps Wild Wild West and Aladdin.
Like Beauty and the Beast, they recreated all the music tracks and redid them does this mean that we're going to have Friend Like Me and Prince Ali as Will Smith raps?
Ugh.
I'm
I'm sorry, I don't look forward to that.
About the Beauty and the Beast soundtrack, dude. I'm still salty about that.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
No. The fact that they got rid of an iconic song like Home and teased it in it.
It's so iconic, I don't know it.
It's from the Broadway production.
It's from the Broadway production.
That's why you and I don't know about it, and Courtney does.
Yes.
I know a good amount of show tunes,
but
just none of the Disney stuff.
So they teased Home and didn't put it in, but they added another song, an original song, like for the Disney live action.
It was fine.
I call BS.
It was
wrong. It was wrong.
Who cares?
It was wrong.
My
and it was
official
bad,
opinion.
and they should feel bad.
We're gonna get the Fresh Prince Ali of Bel-Air.
Yes.
And
I've already seen that like 1,000 times.
And it's gonna be Welcome to a Friend Like Me.
The only thing that really matters is if A Whole New World is good or not. That's the only thing I care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's
also for me, Jafar not menacing enough.
No, he looks like too young.
Oh, definitely not evil
also,
enough.
Jafar didn't go with them to the Cave of Wonders.
Nope.
He's supposed to be in disguise. Because otherwise, like, why would Aladdin go with creepy sorcerer guy? No, it's supposed to be like Aladdin goes with the old man. I think, right? Am I thinking? Was I wrong?
No, you're correct.
No, you're right, because Iago's like hiding as his hump.
As his hunch. Yes, because he goes as an old man.
Yeah.
And then Abu, when he's trying to get him to hand him trying to get Aladdin to hand him the lamp, Abu bites him, and he like.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because he goes like, "Here's your eternal reward," and he tries to stab him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he casts them back into the Cave of Wonders.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've got my Disney movies on lock.
It's also, I guess what bothers me is, so Aladdin was like one of the first times, because I had an art book from Aladdin, and they talked about character design, and that was the first time that I actually thought about like having a visual style that reinforces themes for a character. And so like they talked about how Genie has almost no points. Is that Genie is a very round character, is that he's like all arcs and circles kind of a thing. With the exception of like his beard and his shoes. Whereas like Jafar is all points. Is like everything is all points and jagged lines. And that was to like reinforce
corners for them to hide in.
Yeah, and it was to help like reinforce like a villainous nature kind of a thing. Somehow. I don't remember because it was like 20 years ago.
Harsh lines and yeah.
But like you can't do that with live action really, without some sort of really extensive costume design that it doesn't look like they're doing.
Yeah.
So
I also don't think the guy playing Aladdin looks very much like Aladdin.
Yeah,
I mean, he has nipples, so of course he's not going to look like the original Aladdin.
True enough. I don't.
That's a nitpicky, but
yeah,
that was never animated in that.
I just
my thing is, I'm sick of all these live action Disney remakes anyway. I don't know why they're bothering. I think it's a waste of time. But
I think number one, I think there's too many coming out too soon.
Yes.
Is part of it.
We're not even discussing the Disney Princess issue that Courtney has.
Disney Princess Battle Royale.
No.
You know what? I would play that game.
Yeah,
I would 100% play that game.
I would absolutely play that game. No, I have. Courtney has beef.
It also,
with the Disney Princess line.
It kind of makes me sad that like, so number one, yeah, I mean, Disney's not exactly known for new IPs, given that they've built their whole kind of success with Disney Princess and everything off of existing fairy tales. But like, there are still a whole bunch of fairy tales and everything that they could have done new stories. And if they want, and I would rather them continue pushing their animation department rather than like focusing on these other live action films.
Yeah, Disney's Xenogears.
You know what? I would watch a live action Disney Xenogears movie.
Oh, I want it animated.
No, do it live action. Do it live action with practical effect giant robots. and get Lucasfilm to do the practical effect. Yeah.
So speaking of Disney live action, though, do you have ideas about Dumbo coming out next month?
I'm really just trying to ignore that because there's
live action Dumbo comes out on March 29th.
There's so many issues.
Yeah, Tim Burton's remaking it. I am actually going to go watch this one.
Okay.
I have made a plan.
Okay.
Because I need a good ugly cry, and Baby Mine always does that.
There's so much baggage with the original one that doesn't.
And this is the other thing. Hold on. Did either of you guys see the trailer for it?
No,
I have seen the trailer for it.
I don't like the original Dumbo, so I don't care.
So Josh, the new Dumbo is actually going to have humans in it, helping to manipulate the story, helping to bring it along. I have a feeling some certain characters will be omitted.
I was gonna say, Courtney, the original movie also had humans in it. They just didn't give them any faces.
Yes, but these humans will have faces and lines.
Because that's always great.
To Dumbo, these humans will be extremely active within the story, from what I've been able to see from the trailers and stuff. And
I don't know.
Disney's For Whom the Bell Tolls.
What?
I'm just thinking of movies they can make. Disney's The Sound and the Fury.
I would just love Disney to do some variant of Grim Adventures with Billy and Mandy or something. Just so that Disney so that Disney can do a Grim Reaper that says, "Do not ask for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee."
For thee.
Oh, that was such a great show. Yeah, but I mean, I would love for Disney to do a kind of buffoonery comedy movie of perhaps one of my favorite fairy tales of what's called I think it translates to The Idiot Prince. And it's this prince where he's told his entire life he's an idiot and he's so dumb and that he'll never amount to anything or whatever. And so to prove that he's worthwhile for something, he goes to this haunted castle to prove that he can be brave and courageous and everything or whatever, because apparently he was even too stupid to feel fear. And so he wanted to know what fear felt like. So he goes to this haunted castle, and it's a week of staying in the haunted castle. Every night there is an encounter that he has with some sort of spirits. And finally, by the seventh night, it just gets progressively weirder and weirder and stuff or whatever. That he finally he feels a tickle in his stomach, and he's finally this must be what fear feels like. And everybody's well, you're still dumb. The end. It's great. It's another grim fairy tale. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. People are going to get burnt out because they are doing.
Oh, absolutely.
3 live action releases in 6 months.
What's is the Lion King the third one?
Yes.
Yeah. No. So as far as the live action stuff, they should have kept it to 1 a year tops.
Yeah. Yeah, but March, May, and July.
Yeah. No, it's too much.
End of March and middle of July, so
too much.
Less than 6 months.
Also, doesn't that put Aladdin's end of March?
Aladdin is May 24th.
So what's end of March? Is that Dumbo?
Dumbo.
Okay. Isn't that competing with? Isn't that around the time frame of Infinity War?
Possibly. I don't know. I'm on a Cosmo site right now looking up dates.
Yeah, because I feel Disney releasing anything around Infinity War is just a recipe for disaster.
Especially a remake of something else.
Yeah.
So. But no, I'm actually the one that I am the most excited for though is Lion King. Amazing cast.
That's you have a good casting for it.
And we've been talking about Lion King for a long time.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I just don't know if the other movies they picked. Well, here's the other thing. We haven't seen anything of Lion King. So we may get or we got that trailer, I guess. But like we may see more of that movie and then be like, oh no, this ain't it.
Oh,
who knows?
Dude,
that ain't it, Chief.
They're working on like 5 others.
Yeah.
6 others
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
Like Lady and the Tramp, Peter Pan, Sword in the Stone, Pinocchio.
We already have the best Peter Pan
Mermaid.
movie, Hook.
Yep.
Little Mermaid. Did I say Snow White?
Like Snow White.
Rufio.
Wait, Snow White. They already did Snow White. I thought.
No, according to this article that I'm looking at, Snow White to be announced.
See, I think that's a mistake because Snow White and the Huntsman already came out, and I know it's not Disney, but it was like close enough to like this like altered universe kind of a thing or whatever that it's like Disney, don't do it.
No, this article came out recent enough, December 10th, 2018.
No, what I mean is Snow White and the Huntsman is already a thing.
Yeah.
It is already a movie that came out, and it came out since Disney started doing these live action remakes, that I think it's a mistake for Disney to try and do a Snow White film.
Oh, not that, like, no, it's not on the lineup. That no, it's not a good idea. Yeah, no, it's not a good idea.
No,
it's again, I the more Disney princess, highly in quotes right now.
Yeah.
Listeners, go back and listen to some of our other podcasts.
So here's some live action movies that Disney should be doing. Right?
Yes.
Disney should do a live action Black Cauldron.
God, yes. Oh, God.
That is something that would do well in this day and age. Also, it would finally be the first good Dungeons and Dragons film.
Good in live action.
Yeah. That would actually, I think that would actually work. So you do, like, Disney could do a Black Cauldron. Yes, Sword in the Stone, I don't know.
And then we'd also get, I'm excited because then we'd get Alanwi and Gurgi in live action, and it would just be amazing. And the witches, and oh my God, I would just be in so much bliss.
Josh doesn't know that movie.
It's actually a pretty good movie. It was one of the few things. It was one of the movies that got like panned and everything because it was too dark for Disney.
Yeah,
See, actually, I was going to say I wish Disney would do something a bit darker.
Absolutely.
No, actually, it totally flopped, which is why Princess Alanwi is like absolutely shunned to the sides, and it is so time for her to make her comeback.
So it's basically Farm Boy finds magic sword and thinks he's on it.
Farm Boy has magic pig.
Right, has magic pig, but I think he also like or gets a sword or something and has to like
gets a sword after the princess rescues him.
Yeah. And then they get, an annoying little creature that follows them around.
And there's this picture of this dude getting like destroyed by acid.
Yeah.
No.
And
and then they have to find the witches to get the cauldron to help them to defeat the Horned King.
The whole point is they're basically fighting the undead hordes of the Horned King.
Yep.
So it's like it's basically the plot of Ice Crown. It's the Alliance.
Arthas!
It's the Alliance going after Arthas. You have Farm Boy with a magic pig, which is basically like the humans of Stormwind. Since there's like a whole series of magic pig quests. The princess comes to rescue him, so you could say that's like the night elves coming in to rescue, or the high elves coming in to rescue humanity. You have the little annoying creature, which is your gnomes.
No.
And then they're going after Arthas.
I mean, could you really call Gurgi a gnome? I mean, maybe he's like, I don't know. Gurgi's just so cute.
So
he's like fuzzy Ewok-y gnome.
I mean, he fits the same role. Let's put it that way.
General, yeah.
But
also, John Hurt played the Horned King.
Oh, that's reason enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End of discussion. Like, wash, rinse, repeat, please.
Yeah. So, Disney should do Black Cauldron. I guess I wouldn't mind if they did something interesting with Sword in the Stone.
I mean, it's still, according to the article I had, it was still to be determined.
Many King Arthur movies. Too many.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, there's so many King Arthur ones. But I think if you were going to do the story that they did in Sword in the Stone, where it's not like when he grows up, and it's just like young Arthur being a buffoon or whatever. And here's the kicker I think they could do is if they got David Tennant to play Merlin, I think there you go. And or in a move you have perennial wizard Sir Ian McKellen play Merlin.
Yeah, Ian McKellen should play every wizard.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing though. We literally are having a King Arthur kid movie coming out this year.
Looks so dumb.
Yeah,
Like,
it's definitely
like,
one of
boy
those
would be
like
king.
kids schlock movies.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a weird, but yeah.
Oh, but here's you get Sir Ian McKellen to play Merlin, and then you get I can't remember her name.
No, it's got to be that bald guy from like
What'd
the
she
80s. 80s
McGonagall.
movie.
Oh, Maggie Smith.
And you have and you have Dan Maggie Smith play Madam Mim. I don't know if she'd be a good Madam Mim, but I don't know if she's like just
I think honestly
weird
to
enough.
To be very honest, I think that Dame Judi Dench would be a better Madam Mim.
Dame Judi Dench would be a good Madam Mim.
Yeah.
And just
I mean
and just to have the two of them just have a polymorph fight and just argue with each other, I think would be fantastic.
Yes, that's something I would love to see in live action, is that the polyforming into the fish and the squirrels and the everything else. Like, that's what I want to see in a live action movie from Disney. Like, not what we've been given.
What sort of Disney movie could be remade where they could cast Ian McKellen and Sir Ian McKellen and Sir Patrick Stewart together?
Lady and the Tramp.
They have that on the block already.
What could they do?
Not for those two, but
Oh geez, we're probably due for a live action Hercules too.
Oh.
Only if Danny DeVito is
is Phil.
Only if Danny DeVito.
It's Always Sunny in I can't think of a Greek version of Philadelphia.
It's Always Sunny in
I mean it's Always Sunny in Athens.
Yeah, and I want to be Always Sunny version Danny DeVito, who's just drunk and unraveled and a mess.
Well, so that's basically the character he plays in Hercules.
Yes.
Plus goat legs.
Yeah.
Actually, that could be the one.
Danny DeVito.
That could be because you could have Sir Patrick Stewart, Sir Ian McKellen, you could have Dame Judi Dench and Dame Maggie Smith all play Greek deities.
Absolutely.
You could have it, I don't know who they would play.
And heck, now that Beyonce has already been in one Disney movie, just have her be one of the
What's Beyonce?
One of the
What is she in?
Beyonce's
Lion King.
In Lion King.
She's one of the voices in Lion King. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah. And now that she's already done that, have her be one of the muses.
Yeah.
Bring in
Romeo,
Destiny's Child and two more. Let's go. Let's do this.
JTT for Lion King?
No.
Come on.
No, it's
Donald Glover plays
not my Lion King.
Adult
Not
Simba.
my Lion King.
Well, so I can't remember who they're getting for young Simba, but yeah, Donald Glover is coming in.
McCrary. I have it up.
They're actually they're getting a cast of primarily black people to actually play the characters that are supposed to be represented as black people.
Yeah.
The lions.
Well, right. But the story is an analog for
Hamlet.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
But it's also supposed it's supposed to represent Africa.
Yes.
So it was always a little weird to have like Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Matthew Broderick as the main characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always a little weird.
No.
Yeah.
Instead,
and Nathan Lane, Ernie Sabella. It's like,
there's a special place there, but at the same time, I cannot wait to hear Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen singing Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little
with Donald Glover at the end.
Yeah.
And John Oliver's playing Zazu. Like, come on, guys.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Although,
and James Earl Jones is Mufasa again.
Yeah, he's coming back as Mufasa.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah.
I'm questioning though, like I'm very, very hesitant after seeing that original trailer. I'm very hesitant to even see what new lines he had to record.
I mean, if it's anything like Beauty and the Beast, they probably could have just lifted his voice lines from the first movie and just redubbed them in.
Let's see, we could get Sir Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen in the Mulan live-action movie.
No, that doesn't work.
What?
No.
Come on.
That's already cast.
Are they doing one?
They are doing one.
That comes out March 27th in 2020.
Oh my god. I already hate this. All of it.
And yeah, it was in the works as of 2016, and they were on a global search for like all Chinese and Asian actors to be all the major voices.
All right, you know what? Here's the thing: we just remake Black Cauldron and we just put them in Black Cauldron. We just figure out roles for them. I don't know what they would be.
Oh, one of them could be the minstrel.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, Courtney, so I don't remember. Okay. I don't recall most of the characters in the film.
When they're in the dungeons captured.
Aristocats.
No.
You know what? No.
Voices, sure.
Yeah, you could have them be voices, kind of a thing. It's a weird one.
That's already slated, and there's not enough males for that to be amazing.
You just get Jason Momoa to play King Triton.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
And the excuse to have Jason Momoa shirtless and wet.
Yeah.
But you make him old. Because Triton's got a big white beard.
I don't think it'll matter.
No.
It doesn't. Guys, come on. It doesn't matter.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, I think we've probably done this topic to death by now. So as you can tell, we're very excited for Blue Will Smith.
For hours too.
No. So yeah, we'll have to see if there's any sort of getting jiggy with it, Miami, Wild Wild West.
Yes, all those. I just hope
that was the reference that I was trying to make with Welcome to A Friend Like Me.
Oh, jeez.
Party in the cave when the wishes are on. All night underground. And I don't know. I can't think of rhymes. That's all I got. So
you did it.
Yeah. We did it, and we're done. All right. Another Disney news. So we got a teaser for Frozen 2.
Yeah, dude.
This was something that I did not see coming. Honestly,
I did.
Like from a merchandising standpoint, yeah. It makes sense.
Oh, no, like I follow Idina Menzel on Facebook, and I totally saw that coming.
Okay.
What did John Travolta call her that one time?
Adele Dazeem. Yeah. I know that so on one of the podcasts that I listen to, the morning stream, is when that happened, they saved that sound clip and they played it for like 2 weeks straight as like whenever they were trying to come up with somebody's name, they just played that, and it was
I'm
like,
gonna put
that's
an NPC
so
in my D&D game called Adele Dazeem.
Yeah, it was so just like there's ways to not read a name. Like there's ways to get names wrong, and then there's like that out in left field. Like it awesome. Does. It's not even a
awesome.
I don't know, but yeah. So the trailer starts with like we see Elsa like on the beach, and then like with the ocean and like a big roaring ocean and everything or whatever.
Straight up plays a Jesus move.
Well, here's me seeing her like standing on the beach and everything, like looking out into the ocean or whatever, and I'm like, beware the daughter of the sea.
Oh,
and I was just like, there's gonna be boats, and then all of a sudden there's gonna be trolls on the horizon. And apparently some kind of like, my guess is that she tries to go out like trying to find her parents' ship, which again plays into I want somebody to redub that video with Daughter of the Sea, just because of that.
Yeah, I don't know, it's weird because it seems, okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but it seems like she's trying to like do something with just getting out, so I wouldn't be surprised if she was trying to get further.
My thought is that she wants to find their parents' ship because it went down at sea and everything. And she figures like, well, I have ice magic. I can probably, go out onto the ocean and find it. And she's got to get through like the big wave crest
She's got to get
swells
through the
and
quest.
everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and then
it'll make for a good montage.
And then I will say, like, Anna looks like hardcore, like what's going on? She is just like kicking all sorts of butt. And then we see more reindeer. We see a whole bunch more reindeer, and I hope that once they're done fighting whatever they seem to be fighting or chasing whatever they seem to be chasing, I hope that they're all as doofy and as puppy like as Sven.
No, I want them to all be like hardcore, grizzled reindeer that they've seen some stuff and that they're all like hardened.
So, have you seen the comic of the like German Shepherd with the kitten?
Yeah, it's Pixie and Brutus.
Yes, Pixie and Brutus. So you're imagining them all as Brutus, and I'm imagining them all as pixies.
Well, yeah, no, it would be Sven's. I can't remember Sven's reindeer's name. But that would be like Pixie, where he's like all puppy like and everything or whatever, and it basically like the stereotypical Disney animal sidekick kind of a thing with a very animated personality and everything. But like all the other reindeer are just like, all right, you got guns? No, you don't even deserve to live. What's that?
Sven is the reindeer.
Sven is the reindeer. What's the guy's name?
Yes.
What's his name? It's not Hans. We know
Christoph.
that. Christoph. That's what it is.
Yeah, I was like, no, I had that right. Like all of them are like silly like Sven. Yes.
Yeah, I can never remember those two characters' names
straight.
Yeah.
They're so synonymous with each other.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the fact that Anna shows some swordsmanship skills.
Yeah. Ripping that sword out of Kristoff's scabbard and just
Viking
like,
princesses. Those are always cool. So,
yes. Kick butt princesses.
Yeah. I'll probably see the movie. Seems interesting. We didn't really get a whole lot of like what it would be about.
It's actually good. I'll give.
Yeah.
Even though I really don't care much about this movie,
yeah.
I just watched the trailer and listening to you guys talk about it. I like that it shows almost nothing.
Yeah.
I absolutely appreciate that.
What we do get are some like freaking gorgeous landscapes.
Yes, we get.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
So yeah,
that's good.
Beautiful, very
nice
true
color palette. I like that. Yeah.
And honestly, with the way Disney was doing storytelling with like Elsa and the ocean and everything, whatever, it makes me almost wish that like Disney would do a Warcraft movie like about Jaina.
I wish Blizzard would do a Warcraft movie that is just animated.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah. But like if they don't want to do it, like shop it out to Disney, kind of a thing.
I still say to this day the best part of the Warcraft movie was all the orc stuff. I will still argue that the CGI orcs showed more emotion in their acting than the actual human actors.
I would agree. I think the more interesting parts of the movie were the orc parts. Yeah, is because so I think the orc parts, and I think Khadgar. Like I don't think anything.
Khadgar hated it.
Well, of course
I thought it was played so goofy and dumb. I hated it.
Well, it's Dadgar. What do you expect?
I know. But I did not like any of the human actors.
But you know what? They didn't push it hard enough. Like he didn't sit there and like pop up in the right hand corner and was like, rocking a pun and everything.
Power.
Yeah. But yeah. So.
Anyways. Sorry.
Well, you know what? Speaking of Blizzard, so do we want to do?
Yeah, we can do it quick.
Do you want to do happy news or sad news first?
Yeah, I think Blizzard is the happy news is also kind of I think sad news in a way.
Well, okay, so the happy news, we'll just start with that. I think it was like later last week. The Heroes of the Storm team announced that they're going to have some new method. They're going to change up kind of the pricing structure for a lot of the skins and everything, so that skins that were only previously available as part of bundles or you had to buy directly or using gems, you're going to be able to use shards to buy them. So Yeah, so that way it's going to
one of the 3 different in-game
Yeah.
currencies.
Yeah.
That's I
Yeah.
can't keep track of all that. Ain't nobody got time to keep track of all that.
Yeah, so there'll be an alternate method for buying skins and other in-game items. And then they said you will also be able to buy shards with gold. Which kind of leads me to go back to the whole thing of like, why do they now, like, if they're going to do this, why do they have 3 different currencies and just go back to having gold for everything? And then, like, when you spend real world money, you just get gold.
I mean, that makes sense.
You know? And then, and just, like, adjust the prices of everything based on gold. So that way, like, you know, people with, like, 20,000 gold aren't suddenly getting everything for free. But yeah, I mean, this is a move that helps free-to-play players, which kind of seems weird given the next bit of news that we have, which is very sad. So yesterday, Tuesday, February 12th, Activision Blizzard laid off roughly 800 employees, or 8% of its workforce, primarily in community management and esports divisions. Despite pulling record-breaking revenue, highest ever in a year. So yeah, I did
Remember
note
the time when President Nintendo took a pay cut so they didn't have to lay off.
Yeah, let me tell you, that has been thrown around quite a bit in the news of this.
Every Japanese CEO of a video game company does that.
So it was
when the Wii U crashed hard.
So what happened was Satoru Iwata, may he rest in peace, took a 50% pay cut, and then the rest of the Nintendo
CEOs, right?
Well, not because they're not all CEOs, but basically like the executives. Yeah, the executives took between a 20 to 30% pay cut in order to avoid laying people off.
Yeah.
And that was when Nintendo like wasn't posting record profits or record revenue.
No, that was after the launch of the Wii U.
Also known as the Year of Luigi.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ironically the Year of Luigi was Nintendo's worst year to date.
No one's surprised there.
Yeah. And so that's why they don't really talk about it, and they haven't really done any more like years of since.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously there's a lot of folks looking for work now who were involved in esports, community management, that thankfully there has been a lot of other game development companies that have kind of stepped up and said, hey, we understand this is, kind of horrible, and here's our open positions, we would love to have you, kind of a thing. And it seemed like my entire Twitter feed were companies reaching out to Blizzard employees.
Oh wow.
I mean, you had Wizards of the Coast, you had Square, you had Obsidian, you had I think Platinum.
What do these medals do?
You had all sorts of companies reaching out, with open positions and saying we'd love to have you, please apply, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Blizzard, Activision becoming the new EA.
Yeah, kinda.
That's
and the sad part is then seeing reports from people that didn't get laid off that are still like, well, I'm still here. Where do we move forward from this, kind of a thing?
Where do we go?
And I feel awful for them. It's almost like a bit of like survivor's guilt. Almost. I know, for example, like the Hearthstone team was gutted.
What?
And it seems like Activision basically said like, yeah, Blizzard, you did your little experiment trying to do all these esports things, but it's clearly not working out, so kill it.
Also, I mean, WoW is not doing well right now, I don't think.
Yeah.
and that's been their baby for a long time.
Yeah. They did say, however, so there didn't seem to be any developer layoffs, and that they're actually going to be increasing developer positions. So, I mean, that's great for developers, but people are kind of skeptical about that because it seems to be playing into Activision's MO of like cranking stuff out.
Yearly games.
Yeah.
Develop an IP and put out a game for it every year.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Basically,
Call
or
of
COD.
Duty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, COD.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
So
I just
you know, I wanted to kind of as someone that had been in that position twice now, express my sympathies to those who were laid off. And I hope that you find work. I know this is somewhat off the record. I would certainly love if we actually got a marketing director kind of a person. But I doubt anybody would go from Blizzard to the Eagle. You know, that's a bit of a career shift.
Simplify their life.
Yeah. Yeah, simplify. Yeah.
Well, you know, it can seem nicer when you have something pretty to look at.
No commute. So, but yeah, and I know like Chris Metzen chimed in, and he seemed pretty heartbroken that this is happening, and that so many people are losing their jobs. A lot of folks are asking for him to come back, and he's kind of like, no.
He's gone. He's done.
Yeah.
Man.
No, I don't think people realize.
He's just pulled a Cartman. He's like, beep you guys, I'm going home.
Well, I don't think so. I have listened to a couple of interviews that he's done since retiring, on like the Instance and stuff, and some of the reasons that he retired were medical. That he was having like daily panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and it's like, yeah, that's
dude. Yeah, no, nobody wants to be dealing with that.
No, this was at a job that he loved. So yeah, that's it. It's definitely time to take a step back. Plus, you know, raising a family.
That can totally cause all sorts of stuff to go wonky.
Even if I was doing something that I loved and I had the opportunity to retire at 40 something with a big old pile of money, I would absolutely retire. I mean, it doesn't matter. So, but yeah, so just wanted to express a sentiment of support for those who were laid off. Sadly, 8-Bit Adventures doesn't have any money to hire you, so otherwise I totally would, because I need marketing help. So yeah. In other news, Apex Legends is the hot new battle royale game with something like 25 million players already.
Yeah. What is this?
It's a new battle royale game with a terrible name.
With a what?
With a terrible name.
Well, it's fine. It's a name.
What is it? Fortnite 2.0, basically?
Well, battle royale is a genre.
Battle royale.
Yeah. So it's 100 people enter, one person leaves.
Isn't that like PUBG?
Well, yes, PUBG is also battle royale.
Okay.
Yes, which is
just
like
making sure I have everything right.
DayZ and
yeah,
all those games have been going for a while now.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, this is just the newest one, so keep it on your radar. I know a lot of people have been jumping in, starting podcasts and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I know it is generally number one on Twitch in the last couple weeks.
So yeah, I think it's safe to say that I think
mostly carried by a few particular streamers though.
I mean we already saw this with Fortnite, but I think this is solidifying as like the heyday of battle royale.
It's unfortunately
and so I think,
the flavor of the month for the last few months.
I think this means the era of MOBAs is perhaps over.
No.
No?
Oh, MOBAs have been done.
Bring them back.
Granted, League of Legends is always like a solid third
Yeah.
on Twitch.
Yeah.
I mean, still people playing it and watching it.
Also, so one of the other things that I've heard about, so I just wanted to include that because it's like the hot new buzz item, and it's got a lot of people
all
playing.
my elementary students are like, it looks so bad. Fortnite looks better. It's like, what games are you looking at? They're like, the graphics are so bad on Apex Legendary.
Yeah.
So wait. Is this like comparing Heroes of New Earth to League of Legends?
It's comparing Resident Evil 2 remake to Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, thank you. I actually understand that.
Yeah, graphics wise, there's your comparison.
Yeah.
I legit 100% understand that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Photorealistic to cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so another thing that's been up and coming as well is apparently, and a possible like new genre, is called auto chess. This is apparently a new custom mode that kind of popped up in Dota 2. That has been gaining steam, where you go into a match of 8 players.
See what you did there.
That was actually unintentional.
Yeah.
You go into a match with 8 players, and there's like a draft phase where you draft heroes, but then it's turn based. And what you do is it's like a turn based. Well, so the draft is obviously turn based, but then the game is turn based, and where you're like moving heroes on a board, and then you're having like skirmishes between heroes. But the trick is, each round you only have 30 seconds to program all your actions and everything.
Oof.
Yeah.
Does it? I mean, I assume like it's all the heroes from Dota.
Yep.
And then they probably use their abilities they have in Dota.
Probably.
Do you buy items like you do in Dota?
That I'm not sure.
Interesting.
I know you can like recruit heroes like during the game as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's weird like that. But yeah, it might be the start of a new genre.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I like
it's something.
I would have to try it. Like, it's not that I wouldn't want to. It's not that I automatically don't like
Courtney,
it.
I mean, given that Dota 2's free, you can.
Yeah.
You're a League person though, so you're not allowed to like Dota.
That's my thing. Like, Dota just doesn't appeal to me.
I always actually liked Dota more than League, but
I'm a Heroes person, so I'm not allowed to like anything.
I like Heroes better than both.
Yeah.
Actually, there was one. It was called Dawn Gate. It was out a few years ago. It was MOBA. EA had their hands in it, and and then systematically
that's reasons to wash your hands of it.
Well, it was awesome. So it was basically this independent developer making their game, and EA is like, "Oh, we'll fund you guys to do this," and it did okay.
Don't trust anything with EA's name on it.
And the EA basically just pulled the plug on everything randomly.
Yeah.
Like one day, it was like just one day. The game wouldn't work anymore.
Speaking of EA, when I was first looking at topics at the beginning of the week, and I couldn't really find a whole lot, but I think one of the ones that came up or whatever was like Disney says EA's doing a good job with the Star Wars license or something or whatever, and I was just like, oh, maybe we'll throw this in there and just say you're wrong.
Boy.
No.
That is exactly EA is the reason why we'll never see Rogue Squadron come back to anything.
But they just put Count Dooku in battle whatever.
No, just don't.
Count Dookie?
Just don't.
Yeah, Count Dookie.
Yeah.
Do it, Anakin.
God.
I actually saw today there was a picture of Palpatine and it had like little hearts and everything around it, and it's like, have a great Palpatine's Day or something like
that. Dude, this is my favorite time of year for all of those wonderfully horrible Valentines.
Yep.
That go around that are just so punny.
Yep.
I had more time, I would have made really bad Valentines for all my students at my school, and they would have been all
of the students at your
school?
Yeah,
all 400, and they all would have been like bad Palpatine, like really stupid.
I can feel the hearts flowing within you.
None of the kids would have got it.
It would have just gone way over their 3 heads.
It would have been just funny for me.
Yep.
Which is fine.
No. It would have led to school-wide, only your school memes, like going around just in your school in the entire district.
Yeah.
Like that's what you would do, is you would become a meme boss.
Yeah.
I already am a meme boss.
So yeah, just to wrap that up and move
Yeah.
last bit of news. So Unruly Heroes. This is something I saw come up for the Switch. This is it's some kind of like side scroller action platformer. Kind of reminded me of like Trine, if you remember that game.
Yep.
Where it was you basically have like a bunch of different heroes, and you can switch between them to like solve puzzles and stuff like that. Also kind of reminds me of like Guacamelee. But
wait, how do I know Guacamelee, but I don't know the other one that you said?
So I mean,
Trine was pretty popular.
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
I think Trine 2 came out 2011, 2012.
Yeah. But this one, what actually really intrigued me about it was the art style. Is really beautiful. It has a really great kind of painterly art style. And then a lot of it is in like the music design, the sound design, and the art design are kind of inspired by Eastern and Southeast Asian mythology, where like one of your main characters is like the Monkey King.
I was gonna say, yeah, Monkey King.
Yep. And
is there a nine-tailed fox?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. But one of them's like it's like a pig who has power over wind.
I feel like there's a rabbit.
But yeah, it looked really interesting. And just for the artistic side, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I looked up some images of it. It looks really nice.
Yeah.
At least
I haven't heard anything like super outstanding about the gameplay aspects, so that would push it to like a must buy right now. But who knows? Definitely something to check out.
Yes.
So, all right, today we got a Nintendo Direct. There's a lot of stuff packed in here, so we'll just do rapid fire. And if you guys have any thoughts on stuff, just jump in.
Sure.
Right? Okay. Yep. Mortal Kombat 11 coming out April 23rd.
Why is this on the Switch?
Because they decided to do it.
Because they can.
Because they can.
Will make them money.
Yeah, I saw them. Like, what?
Yeah. And it will have some kind of like character exclusive stuff.
Yeah.
Like costumes
Similar
and stuff like that.
How Starlink Battle for Atlas had the Star Fox exclusive stuff.
They should just call that game Star Fox.
I mean, they really should. Speaking of which, so Starlink is going to have even more Star Fox missions that are exclusive to Switch that are free for people that have bought the game, coming out in April. So basically, you'll be able to play as Peppy, Slippy, and Falco, and you go after the rest of Star Wolf.
But there's other games coming out in April.
Well, right, Courtney, but Starlink was mentioned, and that's why I'm talking about it.
Oh, no, I'm just thinking to myself, like, cool, that can get extras, but there's better games coming out.
Also, we talked about this on the podcast before, but Hellblade is coming to Switch in the spring.
That's another one I was surprised, and I'm telling you two, you should really get it. The game's totally worth it. It's awesome. Okay. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. It's about the woman. She's like a Celtic warrior.
Yeah.
And she's got voices, and it's a really, really good game.
Celtic warrior and does the voices. Awesome.
No, hears voices.
She has schizophrenia.
Oh,
that's
and experiences voices.
Yes.
Okay.
Experiences voices.
Yeah, and the developers worked with people that have schizophrenia to accurately
I've
portray.
Heard of this game?
Yeah, I talked about it.
We talked about it on the podcast
and said how good it is.
Yeah.
Yes, and then they talked about it on the TV too.
Yes.
Yeah, it is fantastic game. It's not a long game. It's maybe like a 10, 12 hour.
Yeah.
At most. So hopefully it's not super expensive, but
it's some of the imagery that I saw was a little disturbing, so I don't know.
Well,
So right up my alley.
Yeah, right up your alley. I don't know if I'd be able to play it.
Alley.
It is very dark. It is very grim.
Yeah.
It is very rated M for mature, probably.
Maybe, yeah,
Maybe.
probably.
Dependent on how the individual experiences the voices, I'm
It
sure.
it doesn't say anything.
Most voices in American/North American culture are not nice to people.
No, they're not nice. They often berate you and
yes,
tell you you're worthless. And
so yeah, we definitely talked about it in bigger detail on a previous episode of the podcast. So
yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite modern games.
February 28th, as a free download, is Deltarune Episode 1,
which is
it's
not
related,
sequel, not prequel to Undertale.
Undertale, yeah.
It is somehow kind of related to Undertale.
And apparently they made a big deal out of some dog in the trailer or whatever, and played out the dog.
They're just being meme lords.
Yeah.
Wait. Is this gonna be like a Full Metal Alchemist style with the dog, and you make me fall in love with it, and then it turns terrible?
No, just because in Undertale there's a lot of characters that are dogs.
Oh, okay.
Like they just have like a little dog graphic.
You can pet dog instead of attacking it, and like weird stuff happens when you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's just lots of dog jokes in Undertale.
I'm very, very wary because Futurama and Full Metal Alchemist ruined dogs in games for me.
For a second, I was like, "What? Why Full Metal Alchemist?" And then I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Ooh.
oh yeah."
So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. Dead by Daylight is coming out this fall.
Looks awful.
Yeah, I'm not.
Graphically, it just looks very bad.
This is.
I don't think that it should have been ported over.
This is not something.
Bad.
This is not something that's on my radar at all. It's not the style of game that I would play. Visually, it doesn't strike me as anything. I just don't get it. Like, is it like a multiplayer survival game? Is it like I don't know.
I don't know.
It's something
I just know
that.
it looked ugly.
Because like the way they first described it, where like you try and survive, and then like if you die, you pick up as the next survivor kind of thing. Sounds like Zombie U, which was a launch title for the Wii U. But then it also says like, or you could play as the killer, and I'm like, why?
Oh no, there's just a multitude of characters.
I think it's
it's not multiplayer. It's just AI, and you just pick up with the next AI. Like.
Well, I also think it's a everybody versus one, all versus one, right? So one person is the killer, and then everybody else is trying to survive.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, but I think it just depends on the gameplay whether you
forgettable.
I don't know. Move on.
All right, let's move on.
We're wasting breath talking about this game.
Let's move on. Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Okay, this is important.
We got we got some more information on it. You are the professor at a university, at essentially an academy.
This is so anime.
It is. And it sits at the junction of 3 territories, and the 3 students you get to pick from, each of them comes from that territory. So the student that you pick to mentor, like, I guess, alters the story on like what territory you're aligned with or whatever, and then you also like accumulate other stories, or other students rather. That and
I'm like, you accumulate other stories? What is this, Octopath?
And you accumulate, other students and everything, and you go out like on what would essentially be like field trips or whatever, but to like help students train in combat and stuff like that.
God.
Yeah. I mean, I probably won't pick it up, but I know all the Fire Emblem folks have been like clamoring for more information about this.
I don't know. The Fire Emblem stories are always kind of meh.
There's just so many.
They're just generic stories to me. I hope that maybe there's some nice like political stuff going on, since they're setting up at the like corner of 3 places.
My guess is that there probably will be, if it's going to be at the junction between 3.
My guess is it'll start off very like slice. I'm at army school and let's go on fun adventures.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden everything's gonna get real. I hope everything gets real dark real fast.
Yeah.
And real messed up. So this might be one of the reasons.
You always want things to get dark and messed up.
Yeah, I want things to reflect our real life world. The hell world we live in. Hell world 2020. I want. I think this might be the reason I buy a Switch.
Really?
That's interesting to me.
Well, there's
intriguing.
actually a handful of things in this direct
Yeah.
that are pushing me towards that final finish line of getting.
Why don't we talk about the next one, Daemon X Machina?
Yes, Max.
They didn't really have a lot of info in the direct. They kind of just said, "Yeah, we're still working on it. We're working hard on it."
They said there's a demo coming.
I think so. Yeah, there's a demo coming, and to look on Nintendo of America's like Twitter for more information on that.
I really like the way it looks. It has a very
it's
unique cell shaded art style.
Yep.
It's very like, I don't know, a lot of contrast in the colors, and it's just flashy, and it's mechs flying around. I hope you fight God in your mech.
Probably not, since it seems to be essentially rogue AI.
Yeah.
It's just that you're fighting Skynet. It's giant mechs versus Skynet.
I like this a lot too. So this is one of those reasons, like, oh, this is a game I really want to play. I could get a Switch for this.
Yoshi's
like a lot of fun.
Yoshi's Crafted World. There's a demo out today, coming out March 29th. This is going to be a buy for me.
Jeez.
Yeah. Look, listen.
Yosh man.
All right. Maybe now I will finally be able to use this little one. This little guy. What I didn't realize was apparently they'll have costumes in the game, and the costumes are armor, but they're like cardboard box outfits. So like,
oh my gosh,
like where a little kid
adorable.
would make like a plane, like you would paint and like kind of sculpt a plane out of a cardboard box. Like that's Yoshi's costume, and it looks like a box. So I'm kind of excited about that. Like they showed one where it was a Yoshi with like a cardboard bullet bill costume. So Yoshi's got like little straps and everything, and is running around with like a bullet bill.
What's his game called again? Yoshi what?
Yoshi's Crafted World.
Crafted World. I just want to see some pictures of this because
it's adorable. Is what it is.
So they can give you it has like a Little Big Planet vibe to it.
Oh.
Because all the Yoshis are made out of like wool and like crafted materials and everything.
Sorry, a little off topic because you mentioned Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this thing called Dreams?
No.
It's being made by the people who made Little Big Planet.
Okay.
And it's basically I don't know. I don't know. It just came up because you can make games in it, and that's what they want people to do. It's going to be a game, but you can make games with it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Look it up. You actually might be really interested in this, Sean. But it looks really neat.
I think I've heard something about that.
It's called Dreams.
I know Microsoft was also working on some kind of thing, like Project Spark or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah. Next up, Smash version 3.0 is coming in the spring. As well as more details on the DLC Fighters Pack. That's all they gave, was stay tuned for more information on that. So who knows what's coming? Maybe it'll be how to actually get 8 people in a match, so that way it's not 4 people and 4 AIs.
Mm-hmm.
Because it said that
just total chaos.
That sounds awful. 4 people is awful.
It really kind of is. I cannot even imagine having 8 people all playing
1v1
in one match.
Final Destination.
No, you got to turn on items. I mean, if you're gonna do a pro circuit kind of a thing, sure. But like, I mean, come on. If we're all just playing at home,
I mean, come on, dude.
Like, let's turn items
on. What makes it fun?
Serious.
Because they're so unpredictable.
No, unpredictability is not fun.
No, it's totally fun with Smash. Dude, you don't understand.
If anything, you should, since you don't play as much as the rest of us do, you should be all 4 items, because that's leveling the playing field.
Yeah, dude.
Unless you're like me, where your specialty is using items.
Like, how does that work? If all I do is button mash, and I can beat you.
I don't understand Smash. I don't understand
button mash.
I understand Street Fighter to a decent extent, but I don't understand Smash.
Yeah. Well, so you just pick Ryu all the time.
It's not the same.
Ryu and Ken. Yeah. So anyway.
My dad kicked my butt when we played Smash when I went to go see him after Christmas.
Yeah?
Yeah, he kicked my butt a few times.
If it were one-on-one, I bet I'd do better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when there's 4 people, I mean, yeah, it's just like, who am I? Like, if you don't pick a big giant character, you're like, I don't know who I am.
2-on-2 isn't bad.
It depends on the level. Depends on
Yeah.
the stage. All right. So up next, Captain Toad. There is going to be free DLC, and then later there's going to be paid DLC that's available. Free DLC is available now. And the paid DLC, you can pay for it now, and like pre-order it now. I don't know when it's coming out, but it's going to include like
But as soon
co-op
as it launches,
mode.
it'll be, yeah.
It's going to include co-op mode as well as extra stages available. Quite a few, if I recall correctly. So, in April, we're going to get Box Boy. And it's like some kind of special edition for Box Boy, where there's also Box Girl.
Box Boy and Box Girl, where you can play co-op.
So you can play co-op. And then
Yes.
there's also, I forget, Gerd? Or something like that. It's
like that. The long boy.
Some kind of tall box.
The tall rectangular one.
Yeah. So Box Boy is kind of like a puzzle platformer. So yeah, they said with the co-op,
I might take a look at it.
there's going to be 270 stages. So that's a fair amount.
It's a pretty good amount of.
Fair bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up next, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order comes out July 26th.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. It's, I played Marvel Ultimate Alliance way back when, or some kind of Alliance game.
Probably on the GameCube.
It was either on the GameCube or it was on the 360. But it was back in college.
Oh, you had a 360. Okay, then it was definitely on the 360.
My buddy Eric had a 360.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think it was on a Nintendo system.
It wasn't until now.
I don't think it was.
I remember it on PS2.
But yeah, so they talked about how there's like basic attacks, there's like skill-based attacks, and then you can like combo with your teammates to make like super ultimate attacks, kind of a thing. So yeah,
we need to get I shot Shotgun Wolverine. That's all.
Yeah,
Bub.
The only thing I don't know if I'm gonna pick up this game because it just, to me, it almost feels like a Dynasty Warriors kind of thing. I know it's generally regarded better than that, but it still has that feel.
It's gonna be more like a Diablo.
Yeah.
Type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Gauntlet or one of those.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night. I think this was
Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
I think it's by the original creator of Castlevania.
It is.
So
just last year they released like a 8-bit or 16-bit prequel or something to this game.
Yeah.
Looks pretty cool. But this is the big one. I think what they gave us was just kind of like, here's like a taste.
Yeah.
And the main course is coming up.
For ya.
So this one looks like it has classic Castlevania type action.
Yeah.
Character customization, which seems like an interesting, weird quirk for that type of game. And all sorts of like potion alchemy type effects, kind of thing. Because I think you play an alchemist as the main character. With apparently gravity bending powers so that you can turn like the stage upside down. Kind of a thing. So
that was in Symphony of the Night. I think Dracula's castle got turned upside down at some point.
Yeah. All right, next up, Tetris 99 out today, free for Nintendo Switch Online members. It's basically online Tetris against 99 other people, last person standing. Otherwise,
I'm excited
Tetris.
to play tonight.
Yeah. For having it be free along with your Nintendo Switch Online subscription, not a bad deal.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
As I said, already downloaded, waiting to play. I'll probably
get all those
right after this.
Get all those baby boomers to get a Switch because they love Tetris.
You say that like it's a bad thing to like.
Tetris. I like Tetris too.
Tetris is nice.
It's just boring.
Like Solitaire and Spider Solitaire can be nice.
Ugh.
All right. So, anything else for Tetris 99?
No.
Okay.
I'll have a review for it next week.
Grid Autosport is up next. Some kind of realistic racing game.
I like realistic racing. I haven't played one in a long time, but I used to really like racing games when I was a little younger.
So, I don't know like how close to something like Forza it's going to be.
I like how you said it correctly.
Forza. Forza.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, it's It's European, so
I know.
it's not going to be pronounced like Forza.
I would have been saying it Forza until I read an article last week
Forza.
that I've been saying it wrong.
Also, I listened to Nintendo Voice Chat, and they have Pear is from Germany, so that's how he pronounces it.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't really have any. Like, I'm probably not going to pick this game up. Realistic racing games are not my jam, so.
I really want a racing game just so I can like set it up on the surround sound in my living room and it plays super loud, so it just sounds like I'm really racing a car.
That would actually be really cool in your living room.
If you had like a big, huge TV and you like set it up close and it would just like had the like bass and everything going, it just would feel really good.
This is a genre.
One of those guys who builds one of those car racing things in their house for just racing games.
Yeah.
This is a genre that we don't have a whole lot of stuff on for Nintendo Switch, so there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Rune Factory 4 Special, so it's like a remake of Rune Factory 4, is coming out. I did not get the release date for that, so I'm not sure. And also Rune Factory 5 is in development. I don't know if I'm gonna pick this up. Like, I like Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon are my jam, and it's like it's got that plus like actual combat kind of a thing, but I just don't know if I can get over like how they do dialogue, where it's like very like anime portraits kind of a thing. I don't know. But normally it's totally, crafting, harvesting, monster breeding, stuff like that. All things that I'd be into, but
it looks
I
like
just don't know.
Harvest Moon or Stardew, but Secret of Mana.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like the combat.
I might wait to see what Rune Factory 5 looks like, as opposed to like a remaster of an older game. But yeah. Next up, so Dragon Quest. We have Dragon Quest Builders 2 coming out July 26th. As well as Dragon Quest 11S coming out this fall. So, what everybody thought we weren't going to get Dragon Quest 11, we're going to get it to some degree.
I thought you had it already.
I don't think so. No.
Nintendo
Nintendo hasn't gotten Dragon Quest in a long time.
No, it's not out on. This is going to be.
I just felt it was boring.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, if you want a very traditional JRPG,
I was gonna say yeah.
And
they talked a lot about the story in the video on the Direct.
The story's so generic and boring.
And I was just like, okay. Like,
You're
how about
the chosen one? And
can you show me the gameplay instead of telling me about the story? Because like,
the gameplay is just here's a menu. Choose what you want to do.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm. If you ever played a Dragon Quest game? This is a Dragon Quest game. It just looks really nice.
I've played Dragon Warrior, which I'm pretty sure is just the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Dragon Warrior Monster.
I played that
like
too.
A Pokemon. Yeah, I remember my brother had it.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people really like it because they just like how it's just they wanted a real traditional JRPG, and they're glad they got it with just really nice graphics.
And it's is the art still by what's his name?
Yeah, Dragon Ball guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's his name?
I'm pretty sure. Toriyama.
Akira
Toriyama.
Yes.
Akira Toriyama.
Yeah. Like you can still see the influences of that. I don't know if they're still working on the art for that, but you can still see the influences.
Yeah, the way they do the eyes and like the upside down U shape and
So yeah. Up next, one of the few EA titles that we will ever see on Nintendo Switch, Unravel 2. Looks like a little, again, like puzzle platformer kind of a thing. You play as two little like thread-based characters. March 22nd. Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered coming out on May 21st. I saw like Assassin's Creed and everything, and then I saw boats, and I was like, "Oh, Black Flag's coming back out!" And then there were like 3, and I'm like, "No!" Right? It was like, "Oh, yep, hype," and then they said 3, and I went, "Boom!" Yeah. From what I understand, the boat parts were actually the best part of 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
as well as the side game, Liberation. I heard was like better.
That 3 is the American Revolution one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know there's a DLC where George Washington declares himself dictator, and you have to, I think, probably assassinate him.
I also saw there's these weird things where like you would like jump up and like smash the ground, and you would see like shards and panels and everything come out, and I'm like, what are you, like breaking the Animus or something? Like
Probably.
No, just give us 4. Just 4.
Just stop making Assassin's Creed.
I mean, I've heard people are really enjoying Odyssey.
They are getting a little more RPG with the last 2. I heard.
And I've heard like there's something to do with like Minotaurs and Medusa in Odyssey or whatever, and I'm like,
yeah, because it's in
supernatural
Greece,
stuff.
I think there's some weird
like
I mean
stuff.
It during Peloponnesian War era, so mythology is pretty.
Well, right, but
typically, at some point.
But typically, Assassin's Creed doesn't go into mythology type stuff.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Oh, they haven't.
No,
it's supposed to be like
sort of historical.
So yeah, sort of.
I was gonna say, I actually saw a post where this guy like knew how to get through like Rome or somewhere like that. They'd never gone, but they played like a ton of Assassin's Creed of one place or another. It
makes me wish then. So here's the thing: that if they're gonna take this mythological bent, give us Assassin's Creed 4 remastered and include like megalodons and krakens and stuff. Put all that stuff in there. I want it. I just want boat combat again, and I want it that it's not has to be multiplayer, because that's what still keep me from playing Sea of Thieves. Because I feel like I might be able to get away with doing that solo, but like you're limited to a little tiny boat.
Yeah.
But again, don't require me to have friends to play video games. That's the opposite reason of why I play video games.
Or if you're gonna have it be an optional mode, like let it be an optional mode, and have it be that you all play on like one ship, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. FF7, March 26th.
Yes.
Go play your spiky boy.
Yep.
I'm putting it in my phone.
So yeah.
I mean, I already have the other Final Fantasy launches in my phone, so.
I just found
Final Fantasy 7 is
like, it's a classic.
It is.
I think it's still just so. I think unless they do some kind of graphical update, it's still really rough.
Yeah.
With those polygons.
The only way to do it, again, in my opinion now, is to get the Steam version and do the mods that really fix it.
Yep.
So you don't get those blocky. You can change the character models to get away from those like polygon, weird blocky models. You can get the sharpened backgrounds.
Yeah.
You can get all the enemies and everything. Like all their models are, HD upped and sharpened and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's really the way to play all those old PS1 games. Luckily, I know they did on just the regular Steam versions. All those PS1 Final Fantasies, they did do some slight remastering too.
Okay.
So it's not going to look as bad as it would on an original PS1, but 7 still did not age well graphically.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
8 even is a little better. 9 definitely looks the best out of all the PS1 Final Fantasies for sure.
Because that one came out super late, right?
Right at the end of the PS1's life cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and it's also because of the art style they chose to go with on that one. They went a little different, and it just works out really well for that.
And speaking of which, FF9 out today.
Get it? It's really good. It's a very charming game. It's
only $21 in the eShop.
I've never played it, so
I think you should. It's really good.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's on my list.
It's got Vivi, best mage.
Is that
the
little? Take your word for it.
The pointy hat and the glowing eyes? Yes.
Okay.
Vivi.
Oh wait, is Vivi a black mage?
Yeah, black mage.
All right, there we go.
That's why whenever I think of a black mage, I have that image of the abyss of a face, the brown pointy hat. Yeah, it's just a black face with like little yellow glowy eyes.
See,
it's funny when you say that. Like, I just think Vigar
Yes.
from League.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
I
Eevee is Vigar.
I
Yeah.
think
100%.
I think we've had this discussion before.
so.
Multiple times,
Whenever I
actually.
hear Black Mage, I just think like, are there any ogres there? I have an ogre slaying knife that gets +5 against ogres. I'm at the tavern. I cast magic missile at the darkness.
Yeah.
Because that's 8-bit theater. Anyway, Chocobo Mystery Dungeon, March 20th. That's another one I haven't played. That
not for me.
was like a spin-off game. All right. Last two, Astral Chain.
Yes.
This one,
this is actually probably the real reason I'll get a Switch.
I was like, well, clearly this is what Monolith's been working on since like
that's what I thought.
Xenoblade 2 came out, because I'm like, oh, this is just another Blade game.
When I saw the character models first in the face, I'm like, oh, this looks very Xenoblade.
And then it was like, oh, these are basically blades that they're throwing out these characters or
like,
whatever.
All these very Catholic references, almost like the angel halos around the monsters and stuff.
Yep.
Like, this has got to be Monolith's next game. And then it's like, no, it's Platinum Games.
Yep.
And then I saw some of the people working on it. I was like, oh, the director of Nier Automata. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, then it makes sense.
So I'm already hyped because it's going to be really weird. I can already tell it's going to be very weird. And there's definitely going to be some mind messery if it's people who have worked on Nier, because there's going to be a lot of like...
Nier games are weird.
They're awesome. I love it.
I didn't say that in a bad way.
If I hadn't watched a bunch of playthroughs of Nier Automata already, I'd get it myself and play through.
Yeah. And so it looks like you play as some sort of supernatural crime force.
Yeah.
And you're using I don't know if it's like you have a partner, or if it's then you also have like a robotic assistant or something that you summon, and then you use that and like the connection to them to wrap around people to subdue
like
them.
These weird chain things, and
which is presumably the title, or what is that? You can summon astral chains or something. Seems like a lot of big demon-like monsters that you try and subdue. So you've got your fighting big monster thing. So yeah,
it's going to be definitely a lot of action combat, a la Bayonetta, or
given that
any Platinum game.
Yeah, given that,
since that's what they're known for.
If it's Platinum, and I know Platinum kind of works pretty exclusively with Nintendo these days, at least on Bayonetta. I wonder if I'd be interested to look up to see if Monolith is actually helping them make this game.
Maybe.
Kind of a thing. Since I have recently learned that Monolith helped Nintendo work on Breath of the Wild with their world design.
That makes sense with the Xenoblade stuff.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, considering that's one of the big draws of all the Xenoblade games is their maps and worlds.
So I'm interested. I may just look up like the developers and everything, see if there's any crossover between the two. See, essentially, like, if they're loaning any talent from Monolith to work on this game, even if it's just conceptual stuff.
Platinum usually they got a pretty good track record for games. They have a few.
Yeah,
I think they did a Ninja Turtles game that people didn't really like very much. What else? Oh, they did a Transformers game that is awesome.
Which one?
Geez, it's on my Steam, but it looks just like the '80s cartoon.
Oh, nice!
Like, all those models.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's it's so fun. What's it called? Transformers Devastation, I think it's called.
Interesting.
I got it on Steam a while back.
Yeah.
But I was playing it over last summer, and it's a lot of fun. And if you like the original Transformers, and you want just a fun, kind of dumb action game where you are Optimus Prime or Bumblebee or whatever that dinosaur one is.
Grimlock. And
you just want to run around smashing things with those guys.
That's the name of my Devil Sword in World of Warcraft.
It's so fun. It's just a lot of fun. And it was made by Platinum, so the gameplay is really good. It's simple. It's like all Platinum games are like this. Very simple at first with your buttons, but there's a lot of depth and skill involved in learning curve to be really good.
Yeah. All right. Ugh.
Yeah.
Last up, before we run out of energy here, we're finally getting the first ever remake of The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. 26 years since its original release on Game Boy.
Wow.
I'm super pumped. I have never played this game.
Yeah,
I got into Zelda late.
Wow.
With Ocarina of Time. And then never went back and played other ones until like the Wii came out. And then I played A Link to the Past. And then like picked up like A Legend of Zelda at some point on like Game Boy Advance or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't until much later that I actually went back and played other ones. But this one, because it never got re-released in any format, this is the first time, so I will definitely be picking this up. I think it looks really good. It looks like they're using a similar engine to maybe like Pokemon Let's Go, because that's what it made me think of. I dig that they're gonna go do like a top-down style. There was a lot of speculation as to if we were gonna see a top-down Zelda like this year or next year kind of a thing. Since Nintendo can kind of like put those out more quickly than obviously doing like a big open world type thing.
Yeah.
So,
You mean it's easier to animate just from the top?
Well, it's also easier to design because like you don't have to worry about like 3D puzzles and everything like that.
I'm being facetious.
I mean, yes, it's easier to animate to some degree, but it's also plus it's a remake, so they don't have to like recreate everything from the ground up. In terms of concept design and everything. But the cool thing about this is, so spoiler alert, 26 years later, this is
26 years later, dude.
This is a dream. So it's one of those things, but because it's a dream, you don't actually end up fighting a lot of traditional Zelda enemies when you go to Koholint Island. Link ends up fighting a lot of enemies from the Mario series. So that's why in the trailer you see like Link's running away from a chain chomp, and there's like Cheep Cheeps, and I think you actually meet like a Mario analog somewhere.
Oh my!
Yeah, and so there's a lot, and like piranha plants and stuff like that. There's enemies like that.
Oh my gosh, that
little bit.
is gonna be hilarious.
A little bit. But they actually so the way they do it, it actually ends up being like sad kind of at the end.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to like Dallas, where everybody's throwing their controllers through the TV. That is a reference that most of you folks probably won't understand.
Nope, sorry.
Courtney definitely might not.
Nope.
I was gonna say that's probably more of our parents.
Oh, absolutely.
Than us.
Yeah.
You old men, you.
But I am old enough to get the reference.
I am old enough to get the reference. I don't even know if I was old enough to be alive during or for that.
I don't think I was either.
I don't know.
But yeah, so it ends up being like a kind of a tragic thing, as opposed to like, what do you mean this was all a dream? Oh, this is so cheap. And instead you're like, oh no, because then you find out that like people that Link met and everything, like they're not real, and that's kind of sad. And it plays on that. So yeah.
Okay. Just because I needed to know, last episode of Dallas was in 1991, so we were.
Oh wow. Okay, that's later than I would have pegged it.
That was 27 years ago.
I feel like it was in the 80s for some reason.
It was actually dependent on when it was. It was 27, 28 years ago. Whenever the last episode aired.
Yeah.
Because I was born in 91.
Yeah. But yeah, so Link's Awakening, I'm super pumped. I know IGN's Brian Altano will be super pumped because that's his favorite Zelda game. So yeah.
I'm excited to be like, I'm loving this reintroduction / general into Zelda.
Yeah.
Because I did not have Nintendo as a child.
Yeah. Just 2019. So no release date set for that yet. Also of note, we got no information on Pokemon Luigi's Mansion 3, Animal Crossing. There were rumors that there would be some stuff regarding the Metroid Prime trilogy.
No Xenoblade Chronicles X remaster.
Nope. No news on that. My guess would be that they're going to hold that stuff for E3.
Yeah, because that's coming up now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a couple
May.
months away, but
Yeah.
my guess would be that they'll probably hold on a lot of the big news, which will be Animal Crossing, Pokemon, to a lesser extent Luigi's Mansion 3. I think they're going to hold off a lot of that stuff until E3, and maybe do like a big that might be like their big show floor kind of thing, because Nintendo usually does like a big like playground
display,
almost type thing. Yeah.
Also, remember, no Sony at E3 this year.
Yeah, that'll be
Sony
weird.
said they're not going.
Yeah, they're not going at all. It makes me wonder if they're going to announce that they're going to do a Sony Direct. Since
oh my god! Well, considering they don't even play well with themselves,
and they're gonna surprise us and say Reggie switched and now he works for Sony.
Oh, that's totally not gonna happen. No way. Nintendo pays him way too well.
Yeah.
But no, I was gonna make the joke.
So much for his body to be ready.
Sony do what Nintendo does.
Yeah, sure.
No, that was the joke. How Saga was always like, we do everything that Nintendo doesn't. We're better for it. And the joke was like,
Nintendo don't.
Yeah. But then like Sony's just like, oh, what's Nintendo doing? Okay, we're gonna do that too. And then integrate it with our systems. But yeah, so everybody's like, oh, Sony's copying Nintendo now. They're not going. Which honestly, I think in this day and age is probably a smarter move. Is to do, instead of doing like these big giant stage shows where they're super awkward and
just keep doing direct.
Like the presentations are bad.
So much better. That's one thing I really like about Nintendo is
do
direct.
And like and the way Nintendo does it, especially these days,
to go experience a direct.
There you go. But like especially when and then like later on throughout the day is Nintendo will like once the direct is over, they'll cut to like Nintendo Treehouse, which is a lot of like their localization teams and everything, showing like gameplay of the stuff they talked about, and like they'll intersperse other news throughout the day with that, like with new stuff coming in and everything. It won't be like the big announcements, but that's where they announced like the Metroid Prime 2 remake for 3DS. Is they were like they were showing something for like Smash or whatever, and then they were like, oh, and announcing a new game for Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think is where we're going to get the news for those games. But, yeah, a lot of cool stuff. I'm definitely excited for a whole bunch of them. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, just really quick, unfortunately I closed the soundboard and I'm not going to open it back up. But as far as this week in 8-Bit Adventures, so we're going to get our first Patron comic this week.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll go up tomorrow. I have to just ink it after the podcast, and then post it. And later this week, there will be kind of a pilot test episode that goes up for a new podcast. And that will be available for patrons to listen to. And we'll be looking for feedback from patrons on what they think. And then depending on that, we'll make some revisions and then go from there. So
cool.
It's not going to be a stream. It's not going to be live. So it'll be an audio only podcast. So it'll actually be like edited down a little bit. But yeah, it will be about food.
Oh, is it the one that we had talked about?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a food-based podcast.
Yeah.
Potentially, and I think as of right now, it'll be talking about local kind of Berkshire County food topics. So it might be like local restaurants, maybe branching out into like, we have a lot of farms in the area, so maybe talking about different farms.
So I mean, stuff. Like the McDonald's on West Housatonic Street.
I mean, we may talk about McDonald's in general, because I know
McDonald's on West Hoosie compared to McDonald's in Allendale. I mean, everyone knows Allendale. McDonald's is they're up in the game.
I don't know if we're going to go into different McDonald's in Berkshire County.
No comment that I can state.
But I know one of the things that we did talk about was like basically the Big Mac versus like the Copy Mac at Burger King, where like they're not even hiding it in their advertising. They're just like,
know about we made a Big Mac thing in England and like the UK.
No.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you about it sometime.
But anyway, but no, this is so Burger King essentially came out with their own Big Mac, and they're just like, yeah, it was like imitation is the most sincere form of flattery or whatever is what they say in their advertising kit, something like that, or like, why not just copy the greatest thing? So like they're not even hiding the fact that like, yeah, we're just blatantly ripping off the Big Mac. It's called like the Big Whopper or something like that.
The Big King.
Or yeah, it's something like that.
Something like that. But again, they've been doing that in the UK for years because of certain copyright laws.
Yeah.
Have been allowing them to do that blatantly like that. So they're
You know
just
what?
bringing it over to the
Guess
States
what?
now.
Go to Asia and get yourself a Mega Mac. It is 4 patties. It is.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. America, get your game together here.
Yeah. But we'll probably be talking about Kodo.
Oh,
in the test episode, because we're going there for Valentine's Day. So.
Yeah. Right. That's a thing tomorrow.
Get the old hibachi.
Yes.
Teppanyaki kind of stuff. So,
I'll be working.
Patrons, be on the lookout for that. And yeah. Any final thoughts of the night before we close this out?
Hey, it was Final Fantasy VIII's 20th anniversary.
Oh, that's right.
Year. Very few things make me feel old because I feel like I'm just a man-child most of the time. But it is. I am. But this actually made me feel like, wow, I remember being a kid and reading about this in GamePro on a flight.
Yeah.
To visit my grandmother, like, and thinking the graphics looked so realistic when I looked at it in the magazines. And then I remember renting it.
Yep.
And the disc freezing on the opening cutscene, having to bring it back to the video store that night with my mom and get another copy. And a lot of people diss on that game, but I actually, the more I play it and see it, I think it is becoming one of my favorite Final Fantasies.
I think it's also the 20th anniversary of Smash Brothers.
Maybe 1999.
I think so. I think it's the 20th anniversary of Smash. Like, and that's what makes me feel old. Is like, oh.
Yeah, it was this week. It was released 20 years ago. Final Fantasy.
Yep.
Wow.
So
yeah.
Courtney, you have any final thoughts?
No, my brain just isn't working anymore.
Yeah, you need sleep.
Yeah, I don't get that for 7, 8, 9, 10 more hours. Jeez. I don't know. Whenever 7:30 a.m. is tomorrow.
Aren't you supposed to take a nap before you go to work?
Yeah, but we ran really late. Ish.
Well, not really, but anyway.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get a little one in. Cat nap.
Yeah. So
that's what I get. Cat nap.
Yeah. The only thing I have is I'm still playing Monster Hunter, and be on the lookout for that. So add me on Steam. So yeah. So then we can play Monster Hunter together. With that, everyone, we're gonna tune out. So have fun, happy gaming, enjoy your pie cake, and be on the lookout for Astral Chain August 30th, 2019.
Right.
God, it'll be like the first day of school. God.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.